Have you ever found the perfect job candidate but turned them down due to their immediately visible tattoos? Well, they could be a sign of a more dependable employee, whereas being put aside due to their ink. Employees' owners should be more open to the idea of tattooed individuals in the workplace, as they can be more creative, dutiful, and committed than your average employee. However, even though select employers are choosing to be more flexible, many are being forced to cover up in more ways than you would imagine. While marketing and entertainment industries have become more lenient in respects to their tattoo policies, it still does not make up for the vast majority who do not, or the still very strict guidelines employers are being faced to follow. Daily Nexus states that a total of 36 of Americans between the ages of 18 and 29 have at least one tattoo. As that number continues to rise, and employers do not become more flexible, they are faced with a quickly shrinking job applicant pool and are consequently eliminating perfectly qualified individuals. It would be crazy not to hire someone or to force an employee to cover up for wearing a floral blouse, but it's not if they have it tattooed on their arms. Even when employees are finally given leeway to ink themselves, they are still sometimes faced with sudden policy changes and forced to take drastic measures to disguise themselves, like a police officer in Connecticut who agreed to wear makeup over tattoos, or be fired because his ink didn't fit the department's brand, as reported by Advertiser Tribune 2019. As more and more individuals continue to get body ink, equally across all industries, it becomes unclear who it is that businesses are worried about will find their employees unprofessional. Tattoo artist Karen Majors quoted in an Advertiser Tribune report from 2019 stating that, "I have clients who are lawyers, doctors, police officers, and even judges who got tattoos but needed to hide them so they wouldn't jeopardize their reputation." It's devastating to see that these individuals who care so deeply for what they do and who care and work so hard for and forced to cover up who they are just so that they will not jeopardize their reputation. And in whose eyes other than direct supervisors? Daily Nexus 2019 also states that though attitudes towards tattoos have slowly shifted as the number of people getting inked increases, their acceptance in the workplace is still in question for managers and millennials seeking jobs. Tattooed individuals are continuing to struggle with discrimination in the workplace, even though society as a whole is more accepting today. To counteract the bad stigma surrounding tattoos, employers should overlook the idea of physical tattoos and try to understand their true intentions, the meaning behind them. Just a little bit of change in dress code can go a long way. By looking at tattoos differently as art instead of a sign of deviance, employers might be surprised to find a sophisticated individual just as passionate and reliable, if not more so than the average job applicant. Journal of Young Investigators hypothesized that tattooed individuals would report higher levels of conscientiousness and extroversion and lower levels of neuroticism than non-tattooed individuals, meaning they were more productive and outgoing than your average employee, leading to a stronger workforce. Finally, settling findings that tattooed individuals may be better employees than previously believed. Business owner Brianna Saylor is quoted in the Daily American saying, "In fact, those who chose to color outside of the lines and express themselves in ways others are afraid are the ones who employees need to hire." Employers willing to delve in deeper into the personality of a person beyond their tattoos will quickly see their dedicated work ethic and unique creativeness. Traits employees would be more willing to show if they weren't afraid and being forced to abide by unfair dress codes. The latter is reported on an article from economists in the Journal of Economic Behavior and Organization in 2019 that found that outdated survey results and general public opinions that people immediately perceive individuals with tattoos as more impulsive and reckless, when based on new testing, their personality traits identify them to be more present-oriented than those without tattoos. Unlike the police officer from Connecticut forced to wear makeup to cover his tattoos at work, should employers just be more willing to amend their dress codes, they can bring out happier and more engaged employees willing to go the extra mile for them just because they feel accepted. Knowing we can do what we can do to correct these ignorant presumptions, businesses can learn to make strides towards acceptance. Acceptance in the workplace and job satisfaction can directly lead to increased productivity and overall business success. Emily Rosenberg was interviewed by the Daily American saying employers should look more at the capabilities of their potential job candidates than what they look like if the employee has tattoos or piercings. Those tattoos shouldn't interfere with their work if they're able to do the tasks they are assigned to do in a timely manner. As long as an employee can do their job and do it well, it shouldn't matter how they look. In the same article, business owner Sable Leon is quoted saying a candidate should not be treated differently at an interview or in the workplace based on their tattoos or piercings, but how they perform the job that needs to be done. Someone who feels accepted and comfortable at work will only be more willing to do everything it takes to get the job done. Without that, businesses are going to continue to face higher turnover rates and low employee morale. Human relations company Reality HR routinely advises their clients on common hot topics. One they recently chose was tattoos and piercings. They go on to say that a company willing to value their employees in every way is more likely to get that in return from their employees. They also say that an employee asked to cover a tattoo that they feel is a part of their identity could be left feeling uncomfortable and they may be tempted to leave. Time a company spends training an individual who then picks up and leaves is money thrown away and by no means leads to a successful business. If employees would start to see past outdated correlations between deviant individuals of lower class and trust current research suggesting a broader range of personalities now making body modifications as a form of expression, the better off they would be. As more millennials move their way up into management positions and take over the businesses, we can hope to see a shift from that taboo mentality. Along with that acceptance comes with its increased job satisfaction, more dedicated and motivated employees, and ultimately more productive workspace as a whole. As creativity and personal expressions becomes more important keys in a successful business, employers are going to have to look at amending their dress codes. Let me end this speech with the one-time most well-known cliches in the books. One of the most. Don't judge a book by its cover.